Hello, this is the Iconbuster.
I want to start this review off today by telling you that I am not an expert in movies or television shows. All I'm here to do is tell you how I felt about a particular piece of work, and everything said in these videos are just my opinion and is not followed by any credibility whatsoever. I judge these movies and shows based on how much fun I had watching them. So why am I saying all of this? Is because I'm about to review a movie that a lot of people consider a bad movie, but in my opinion isn't that bad at all. Now, I'm not saying this movie is a great movie, but I think it provides a certain level of entertainment as long as you're willing to not take it so seriously. The movie I'm talking about is Jason X. Now, this movie is considered to be the worst out of the Friday the 13th franchise. But lucky for us, it doesn't even bear the name Friday the 13th. This movie doesn't even mention the words Friday the 13th. So, for that reason, I don't even think the creators themselves took this as a serious sequel. Hell, it doesn't even continue off of Jason Goes to Hell, so it's a separate story altogether. Here's the story. Sometime in the near future, the government builds a research center on Crystal Lake and uses it to study Jason and the reasons why he can't die. Well, a final solution comes when they decide, hell, we can't kill him, but we can freeze him forever. This plan would have worked, but a greedy scientist decides he wants to research him and move him to another facility. Well, the girl at the research lab tells them they're crazy, and at a moment of, I told you so, Jason kills the scientist and all of the soldiers that were there to protect him. Afterwards, Jason starts to chase the girl, and she leads him into the cryogenic freezing chamber. And thinking she has him frozen, gets too close to the chamber and gets stabbed. This causes the entire room to be frozen, and 400 years later, both the girl and Jason are found by a group of research students and their professor. Now, as you can predict, the plot is simple. The research group thinks that Jason is too dead to be brought back, and they bring back the girl, who tells them to get rid of Jason. They don't listen, and Jason revives himself to kill again. Now, if the plot at this point sounds too stupid for you, it probably is. But if you like lots of gore, you might want to give this movie a try. The body count in this movie is massive. There is a scene where Jason takes on a bunch of futuristic soldiers, and at one point he fights an awesome android. Now, the characters in this movie are all your typical and annoying kids that you would find in any of the other Friday the 13th movies, except for perhaps the soldiers and the android. It's basically Camp Crystal Lake, but in the future. I mean, you're not going to find Academy Award winning acting, and yes, you will hear some annoying lines. Now you're probably wondering where a concept like this came from. Who would want to put Jason into outer space? Well, here is my theory. A year or so before the movie was released, Mad TV ran a skit called Apollo the 13th, Jason Takes NASA. To this day, it's probably one of the funniest skits they ever did. It's basically this. Jason gets on a spaceship and starts killing people one by one. The funniest part is the control guy, who keeps yelling, "We've never lost anyone into outer space to a psycho killer, and we're not going to lose one to my watch. Okay, we've never lost 3 people to a psycho killer, and we're not going to lose any more on my watch. Okay, we've never lost 4 people in outer space," and so forth and so forth and so forth. The skit's just really funny, and I truly believe it inspired the movie's creators. So now my final thoughts. I've watched this movie again recently, hoping I would feel the same about this movie that I felt when I first watched it so many years ago. And sadly, I didn't. But it was still fun. If you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you check it out. I guarantee you'll get a laugh or two. Just keep in mind, it's a B movie. And since I was a C student in college, well, it's good enough for me. I give Jason X a 6 out of 10. This is the Iconbuster saying, Jason X, you've been busted.